When most people hear it, they're like, well, that's impossible.
That was my first thought. My first exposure to you was your interview with Joe Rogan. And I'm watching it and I'm sitting there like, this guy cannot be for real. There's no fucking way. And of course, I'm instantly on Wikipedia and I'm like, holy shit. Okay, so now I'm just gonna shut my mouth and I'm gonna listen to what this guy has to say, because obviously my mind is blown out of the gate. After that interview with Rogan, the way I had looked at my waking up in the morning and working out and starting the day instantly changed from that point forward. So, thank you.
Most of us seek out our comfort zone. So how have you been able to rebuild yourself? Because one of the mantras we hear in your videos is, I built this motherfucker.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna transform me, David Goggins, to Goggins. David Goggins is an introverted, soft kid that got beat up growing up and mindset had to lie to create friends, to get friends, to be accepted. So my life has really been about two people. I had to invent a whole nother human being to get outside of my comfort zone. And that human being became Goggins. He's like that Superman that walks out of the phone booth. And I was talking to my fiance today about, it's kind of strange how sometimes I have a conversation between David Goggins, and Goggins will tell David Goggins about the shit he's done. And David Goggins like, what the hell, man? Why are you doing that? That's nuts. So it's kind of this battle between trying to find more of yourself, knowing that the real you is afraid, likes comfort, likes living in a world that is that likes to pat you on the back, give you the things that you want to hear. That's where all this kind of started from. This guy was some super freak. He found some super thing in his brain that was locked up. He unleashed it and became this guy. It's a fucking lie. Because every day I wake up, dread the day. I dread the day of what I'm going to bring on myself to get better.
And when did Goggins, this alter ego, appear in your life for the first time?
Goggins appeared and disappeared several times. It appeared the first time when I was 17, and we'll get to that, but it really appeared when I gained about 125 pounds. I went from 175 to 300 pounds almost. And lowest part of my life, I was in a fucked up relationship. I was making no money. I was spraying for cockroaches, and all this stuff was just coming on me. And I was like, I have to find something. Goggins came out.
And the story, if I recall correctly, is walking in to try to become a Navy SEAL into a recruiter's office and basically getting laughed out of the office.
I think I want to be a Navy SEAL. So I started calling up different recruiters, walking into some guy said to me, you're fat and you're black. He was an observant motherfucker. You know, I was 300 pounds, black guy walking, he was very observant. So that kind of went on for a while, and until I met one recruiter. And one recruiter saw something in me that no one else saw, gave me a shot.
And a challenge, right? Come back, lose the weight.
Right. So basically I walked in, I had about 3 months, a little less than 3 months to lose 106 pounds. So I was like, this is fucking impossible, man. I can't do that. And at that time, I had no real drive to be a Navy SEAL, to be anything. I just knew something had to change. I had to, this isn't gonna work, man. This lifestyle that I'm living, something has to change. And I came home, I quit my job that day. I was driving home, I said, I gotta fucking do something. And I said, I'm gonna go home and run 4 miles.
A lot of us have multiple moments like that in our lives, and most of us choose the easier route, to quit.
We're living in this world where you don't want to upset anybody. You don't want to tell them no. You don't want to tell them they're not good enough. You don't want to hurt them, and because they might feel bad. And we already have that feeling within us, and if you stomp that out, well, what is going to drive you to get better?
Well, that's what I realized for myself was I wanted that comfort zone that everybody looks for, that pat on the back. They don't want to hear all the bad shit. They want to hear everything that they're doing right. And I realized that's what kept me in this world, of not accomplishing anything. So what I did was I became that big, bad, nasty motherfucker that you don't want to walk into at nighttime. I became the roughest critic in the world on myself. And that's what changed me. I literally saw myself in the mirror. I saw the truth versus saying, you know, my dad did this to me. Kids in school from calling me nigger did this to me. My life did this to me. My fucked up, broken foundation did this to me. I took that and said, you know what? Well, some people may help this happen, but now I have to own this. No one's gonna come back to save me. No one's gonna come back on this fucking couch and say, hey, It's okay. You're gonna be okay. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be okay. I had to realize I had to take a stand. I had to make a real stand. And it was painful to look at who I was. The world and myself created. It created a very lonely, depressed, insecure man that would do anything just to have a friend. And I saw that as very pathetic. When you look at the truth, it becomes very ugly and pathetic. In the real story, how that happens is I would call this guy up at almost every night about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night and give him an update.
Wow.
I said, hey man, I've lost 25 fucking pounds. Because no one knew what I was doing. If you ever tell me something that I cannot do, I'm gonna let you know that I'm doing it. Right. Somehow you're gonna fucking know one way or another that I'm doing it. Well, I know one thing, and this is a true statement that I've said several times. A lot of us don't know of a whole nother world that exists on the other side of suffering. Once you break these barriers that you have made for yourself, it is so amazing that I used to be a 300-pound guy, and I thought that was it. Could barely read, could do anything, and now that what was inside that person was this guy that's in front of you today. That's how scary the mind is. And that's what I started realizing through this journey. Once I got a taste of, wow, man, I haven't even begun to crack what the mind is capable of. And what I started realizing is on the other end of suffering, that's the real growth of life. Because you realize how the mind processes shit.
One of the big things that I feel a lot of us have in our lives is the doubters, especially the doubters from family members and people really close to us that we don't want to lose, but are telling us, no, you can't. Your dreams are too big. That's impossible. What the hell is wrong with you, David?
Right.
How do you deal with those people in your life that you still care about,
right,
but are like, you can't run 200 miles. What is wrong with you? You're going to kill yourself.
Well, the honest answer to that question is there's a lot of them out there. But most of them are that way for one big reason. They can't see themselves doing it. Can't see themselves doing it is one big reason. The other reason is a lot of it is jealousy. When you set these humongous fucking goals and they see that you're getting at it, and every fucking morning I'm getting up training for a 200-mile run, and you see me get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and all you fuckers are sleeping, how are you gonna feel about yourself? A lot of our family members, a lot of our friends, they're mediocre. There's always those couple of guys who are uncommon, who want to be better. But you make that mediocre motherfucker feel like shit. Whether it's your mom, your dad, whoever, you make him feel horrible. I've been there. I'm speaking from experience. You get somebody around you, man, who's trying to be better, and you don't have the drive that they have, it's a constant reminder of how fucked up you are. If that's a problem for somebody, you have to look at them and say, man, you really have a fucking problem with yourself, huh?